Hi, I'm Miguel. This video is going to cover some offensive tools focusing on redirection and disengages. So all of these techniques are based off of my opponent's reaction. So I usually start my bout with a gauging shot of some kind, or if I know my opponent and how they move, I can kind of base my movements off of that. So if I throw that gauging shot and see that my opponent has a big windshield wiper dagger parry, right? That makes it really easy for me to get around it. So I can start this movement, trigger that reaction, now I'm free to go wherever I want, right? So all of these feints that I'm going to do in these techniques, I'm basically triggering a reaction from my opponent. As they're moving away, I'm sliding my blade somewhere else. So the first technique we'll look at is a super simple disengage from inside to outside. I usually use this to target the upper forearm, so taking that arm. It's a super simple movement, so kind of mid-lunge, I'll start my movement on the inside, baiting their parry, so that exposes their forearm, and I disengage to the outside, kind of continuing that one fluid motion, right? So same technique from a different angle. The second technique we'll look at is a high-low disengage, usually to get around a dagger, sometimes works around buckler. So I start out of range. My initial movement is upwards, so as I start my lunge, I'm throwing that shot up to trigger that parry from him, and then I'm rotating down into fourth, so kind of using my hand motion to let that movement flow and finish my shot. So I'm kind of triggering that reaction to get his dagger out of the way. So I start high, throw that shot, come underneath, and I don't want to make contact with his dagger. This technique can also be used defensively, so if he's trying to aggressively grab my blade with his dagger, his reaction going up, I rotate underneath, and I'm open to kill him. This third technique is a disengage underneath that includes a body void. So usually I'm starting on the inside. If I'm playing a little tacto and he gives resistance, so pushing to the inside here, if I replace with my dagger, and then I'm voiding my blade down underneath and aiming for his front hip. So that movement, if he makes any movement there, it gives me an opportunity to come in. My dagger's in this cross position in case he comes back, and my body usually voids to my left. So that movement looks like this. If I'm initiating, here. This also works defensively really well, so if he's attacking down the center line and I make that cross parry, I'm free to hit that front hip, and the timing is tough for him to get out of. So one more time. These techniques are all really effective at controlling the tempo of the fight. So I'm triggering that reaction from my opponent, going somewhere else with that disengage, and I'm one step ahead of them. So it's really good for manipulating my opponent, getting them to do what I want them to do. I've had great success with these moves. Hopefully they're compatible with your style. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks.